Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. Yes, Texas A&M went into Columbia coming out of an off week. Big win. Lay it all up, line it all up, and there was not a sniff of an upset alert. No, that siren got dusty with all the construction, debris that had sort of like fallen on top of it. They jumped out to an early lead. They defended it the rest of the way. Final score, Texas A&M 38, Missouri 17. Even when there were sparks, like even before Missouri scored, even when Missouri would get a little bit, Texas A&M had a defensive answer, had a score the other way. They showcased their explosiveness offensively, the ability to just quickly like flip the game on its head. They were dealing with a Missouri offense that already had been a little bit limited, like all season long, right? I mean, even when Bo Prabula is in there, it was a team that needed to be in control. And it felt, Tom, you and I talked about this game at halftime with Tommy Train on CBS Sports HQ. You put them in a double-digit deficit, the freshman quarterback, and the downfield passing attack that already you would not put at the top of the SEC. Kind of felt like that was going to spell doom for the Tigers. How much of this is Texas A&M? How much of this is Missouri to you?
I mean, Texas A&M had plenty to do with it, but so did Matt Zollers. 7-22 for 77 yards, and 74 of them went to Olagburi. Like, they had no passing game at all, which, they were still able to run the ball for 6 yards a clip, but, like, a lot of that I felt, and we discussed it at halftime, a lot of that I felt like was by design. I don't think A&M was all that concerned about giving up yards on the ground. As long as they limited the explosives. They did give up the 40-something yard run to Hardy. But on the flip side, A&M got off to kind of a slow, sluggish start. Missouri's defense deserved a ton of credit. The defensive line, I thought particularly, against Texas A&M's offensive line, which is one of the best offensive lines we think in the country. In the first half, Texas A&M was not really able to run the ball at all. Yeah. But they just kind of wore them down. And in the second half, the dam broke, and A&M was able to get stuff going on the ground, and it kind of became more and more apparent to the Missouri that they weren't going to win the game, and the defense just kind of let up.
Yeah, and I think the defense started taking more chances as well.
Mm-hmm.
Guys getting out of their gaps, guys saying, hey, is the offense really going to score? Is the offense really going to drive the ball? Probably not. They're trying to make things happen, like that.
Oh, hero ball attitude. I'm going to have
to. You have to, yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's risk reward, right? You're trying to make something happen and try to make a special play. To Tom's point, I think more than half of Missouri's yards came in garbage time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had 284. I think they had 145. So that's actually not more than half. My math's bad there. But basically half of their yards came when this thing was done and dusted. So that was a really nice defensive effort, shutting down a freshman quarterback who had made some good throws against Vandy, and they just they just put him in a blender, right? That was awesome. If you watch his plays, I think Colin Klein does a really nice job scheming it up. I can see why he gets a lot of these mentions for not the biggest of jobs, but Oklahoma State, if a Missouri were to open, right? Stuff like that. Because Missouri with Zollers in there is what? I don't think you can't have them as a top 25 power rated team with that quarterback situation, but they're not outside the top 50. And you wouldn't.
Hey, let me throw this at you. Are they Auburn?
I like Auburn's defense a little more.
Auburn's quarterback now is better than Zollers.
Yeah, and they don't have a Cam Coleman, but Ahmad Hardy is also a difference maker in his own right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd say the gap is not large.
Right. I was just trying to place them in the SEC in my mind. Okay, if we're going to downgrade them,
right,
then that's probably a floor that I would say.
I would take Auburn over this Missouri team as currently constructed. But I don't know that I would have said that before, seeing this offense against Vandy, right? To Chip's original question, how much of this was A&M, how much of this was Missouri? I think when you win by this margin, I think it's more you taking care of business on the road. That's
especially the early lead and the way that it flipped the leverage of the game, and to do that against that team in that place, and just continued like, oh, you're going to score? Cool. We'll score. You're going to score again? We'll score. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
It was incredibly impressive. It was high class. And I mean, look, we're starting to get up to, I mean, Le'Veon Moss could return maybe by the end of the regular season.
And like,
I'm not sure.
they have good backs aside from Le'Veon.
Ruben Owens has played well. Obviously, he goes for more than 100 today. But I was just saying, like,
huge run today.
To spin this even, forward with Texas A&M, Casey Concepcion continues. He had a couple big explosive plays today. Craver gets involved in the run game as well. Like, it's just, man, it is all building towards something. And like Alan Kenny, blatant homerism. Our friend. I was having a conversation with him, and I said, what's going to be some of the stories of this? Like, if Texas A&M does this, guys, we haven't seen that.
So
like
one
Texas A&M is real close to doing stuff that we're like a conversation we are not used to having with Texas A&M. And I thought that answering the moment with a top 3 caliber, top 3 form kind of performance needs to bring that up. Like, Texas A&M is a national title contender.
The only team I have favored over them by more than a field goal is Ohio State.
We just haven't. I mean, none of us have. None of us have. 1998 since the last conference championship. Obviously, none of us are covering the sport, right? Wait, Bud, were you covering the sport in 1998? Were you writing out? Were you writing out a newsletter and passing it around Fort Myers or Tampa?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That is correct.
I kind of was.
You kind of were covering in 1998.
I was a sports editor at my high school paper.
Shit,
see,
we were
there
old.
you go, on it with Texas A&M's Big 12 title in 1998. Is the sports editor, but I want to get us ready because Texas 8-4. Oh, look, here comes. I don't know, guys. This team might be 12-0 at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, I do want to point out something too. Like, their secondary this year was kind of a question coming in, but so Des Ricks is a corner for them. He was at IMG. I remember having a conversation with the IMG, like one of their assistant strength guys, and he was like, "This guy is like the best testing numbers we've ever seen here on the GPS." I was like, "Okay, noted." And then I think if I recall like the timeline on this correctly, and it's live TV, or well, we're not on TV, live YouTube today.
We are on some TVs,
right? We were definitely on some TVs. Tweet the pictures, obviously. He reclassed to like jump up early to sign with Bama, and then transferred from Bama to A&M. So he was a class of 23 guy who I think was supposed to be a 24, but he was like a legitimate like 5-star level athlete and seems to like finally be coming into his own. And that's a really big deal if you kind of spin this forward, because they're going to probably, if they beat Texas, they're probably have to go play Alabama, right? And Bama's got some real receivers, and like the team we just talked about, right? Like Ohio State. If you get that, like having somebody who can cover is a really big deal. So that kind of changes my opinion about this A&M defense some. Like that he's starting to play like you had hoped he'd play coming out of high school.
Mike Elko's player evaluation and roster construction gets big check marks from me. He's got some guys also that came last year that are now second-year transfers, because we talk about that too with the portal. It's not always going to be a one and done. We pay you, you come here, 1 year splash, you're gone. There's a lot of value too to finding those prospects that are going to come, join your program, make you better, but then also get better while they're in your program. I think there are a lot of those guys too on this Aggies roster. So yeah, man, it's different. It looks like a different Texas A&M team. I thought this was a different Texas A&M performance, given everything else that was with the spot. Solid win for the Aggies.